Good morning, my happy hour back. Here's the plan. Film something today. We didn't yesterday. Sorry about that. We took the day off effectively to take our son Jack up to Manila, down to Manila, as he was getting his flight back to England to start his final year at university there. So today we will have flooring in another bedroom. We will have, I think, the Granite guys coming back. We will have a lot of painting. We'll have more electrical work, and I'm going to show you a couple of options that we've got for outlets that we're going to be putting around the house. And who knows what else. What could possibly go wrong? Also, apologies for the delay in getting the previous video out. Guess what? We had another internet outage. I just had a look at the Converge website. They're our supplier here. I must have done something wrong throughout my life, because the front page of their website says, "Get the internet connection you deserve." Well, ours is crap. I must only deserve a really bad internet connection. Maybe once we get fibre for the house, maybe we'll have something that's more reliable. But that's now 6 days, pretty much 6 full days in the last, I don't know, 45 that we've had nothing. This company has one job to do: give you an internet connection. Not doing it very well. Right, let's get on with things. The Granite crew were in yesterday, and we have partial backsplash in the dirty kitchen. It's only on this wall at the moment. We still do not have a cutout for the sink. Increasingly, I think they're going to cut that while the Granite is in place here. We'll have to wait and see. It doesn't sound to me like that would be an ideal solution, but they know what they're doing. Let's hope that we can catch that later on today. And Papa Jess working on outlets. We actually have 3 different types of smart outlet that we'll be using, and we will also be using some non-smart outlets. I don't think it's necessary to have them everywhere. Unfortunately, they're not all the same size. So we're going to be going through with the engineer this morning, deciding exactly which outlet box we're going to have in each location. In the meantime, we've got to try and find some more back boxes that actually will take these outlets. In the downstairs hallway, Mr. Ernie has finally been released from the dining room. So he's doing some finishing in here. And across the way there, let's go in the kitchen. Painter Willie working on the kitchen's ceiling. We do have some activity in the home theatre room. We've got tiles going down in this area, which is behind where the screen will be, and where all the electrical equipment is held. Yesterday morning, we nearly had a real problem, because I came through, fortunately, fairly early, and they were preparing to put tiles inside the home theatre room. Now, that's completely wrong. Have you ever been to a cinema that uses tiling on the floor? Well, if you had, it probably wasn't a very good one. Tiling and sound do not play well together. This room has to be carpeted, and I see no point in putting tiles down and then putting a carpet on the top. So we stopped them. The builder is here this morning. I'll have another chat with him about what are we going to do with this room. Because at the moment, if there is a plan, I'm not very impressed with it. Mr. Ugtu Mayap here, Sing Enrico, is cutting floorboards to size, and they're going into a new bedroom. I'll show you which one. Well, that probably just gave you a clue. Now that we've got all the windows in, they're going into Sabrina's room. Richard and somebody around the corner, might be Manny, I'm not sure. But actually no, I think it's original Rico, doing the flooring in here. Jack was happy yesterday. They had finished his flooring before he left. And it includes the small walk-in closet in this room. A correction to something I said, I think on the last video. This door into the gym and spa is not a glass door. It will be a wooden door. In fact, it will be a double wooden door. As far as I know, the glass crew are still not quite finished. They've got a few more bits and pieces still to be done. But this, no, is not part of their brief. This is the selection of smart sockets, smart outlets that we have. It's actually 3 that you fix in place, and then we've got a box of these Tapo kind of just plug in anywhere smart sockets, which son Jack gave us or gave me for Christmas. So we'll have a look at what's inside the boxes and you'll see the differences. So this is what we've got. Starting bottom left, this is the one that we've got the most of, made by a company called Knightsbridge. They're just standard smart double outlets, double sockets. No special features with these, they're just smart. They will work, it says, with Alexa, it'll work with Google, so we'll see how those work out. In the middle, this is a company who is on the box, it says Milfra. I don't see any other marketing or branding on the boxes, so we'll just go with Milfra. The one significant difference with this, it's got USB ports for charging your phone or something. And then on the right, there are these single sockets. The one difference with these, and these are made by a company called Xenon. I think probably all of these are made in China. The ones on the right, one difference with these is they have energy monitoring. So we'll be using those for things like the refrigerators, the tumble dryer, the dishwasher, the washing machine. I haven't got too many of those, I've got about 10 of those. I've only got about 5 of the sockets with USBs because we've been pretty conscientious about putting USB sockets everywhere anyway. Most of the ones we'll put in are the ones on the left, the Knightsbridge sockets, just standard smart sockets, and then we'll play around with those and see what we can do with them. And then up at the top, the one that son Jack gave us, just plug in anywhere really, from a company called TP-Link, who are actually very well known in the smart industry, so they should be extremely reliable. The reliability of the others, we'll have to wait and see, but the Tapo ones I can just slot them anywhere. Now we certainly do not have enough of these to go for every socket in the house. There'll be quite a few that are not smart, but I don't see the need to have all smart plugs. I think that would be absolutely overkill. So we'll go with these, and then the balance, most likely the majority of those will be the kind of 2-pin, well actually the Philippines is a combination of either 2 or 3-pin, but not this shape. But there will undoubtedly be items around the house that will want to plug in that are not this English 3-pin style. So that's what we've got. My job today with the engineer is to work out which ones go where. It's kind of late morning and we missed cutting the granite. It was cut without removing the granite from its base here. So they've cut it out, they've applied a little bit more of the adhesive around the outside edge, and we'll have a look in a second at the sink. And here it is, installed, well, lying in place for the moment. So this is the difference, an overmount sink. If you haven't seen them before, the edge of the sink comes across over the top of the granite, hence over. It's a lot more forgiving for the graniteers because the edge of the granite is hidden underneath the sink. So they probably prefer to do sinks like this. The reason we've got an overmount here is because my beautiful Asao really wanted this kind of 3-section sink, and we couldn't find one. The builder looked, we looked, and we could not find an undermount version of this. It's not a disaster. I think it looks absolutely fine. To my eyes, an undermount is a little bit more of an elegant solution, but really, we're not going to notice. So there we go, sink temporarily installed. It's just a little after lunch, but before we go inside the house, a couple of things on the outside. First one here at the front, where our new painters, Warren, Resty and JR, are turning the kind of dirty white that you can see on the right hand side as we look at it to a nice clean white. So they're putting proper paint onto the surface over the skim coat and waterproofing layers, and it's really starting to look quite different. Nice and clean looking white colour. There's also, as an aside, a little bit of cutting going on up on the balcony there. But one more thing to show you on the outside. A new project beginning just here. We're going to get outside showers and a couple of toilets. Not entirely sure I know why we need 2 toilets, but as they put on the picture, girls and boys. But that's what these guys are just making a start on. In the dirty kitchen, we're getting more backsplash. We've got a little bit more of the pieces that go along on the underneath of the work surface. And it was a bit too loud, so I didn't film it, but they were using various sizes of polishing pads just on the edges to smooth those edges of the piece of granite they're putting in. We went through 3, or was it 4? I think it was 3 different polishing pads. No, it was 4. Make your mind up. It was 4. The theme of nice, clean, white finishes continues in the kitchen. Painter Willie, actually right now doing a little bit of sanding, but a lot of the surface of the ceiling now is a nice, clean white. It's not fully finished, but it's really starting to look quite sharp. And we've had a delivery at some point this morning. Double doors. Lots of finishing to be done on them, but there are, I haven't counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 4 sets of double doors that we'll be using throughout the house. So we'll probably have to wait a little bit longer to see these going in, because there's quite a bit of treatment that has to be done before they can actually be fitted. And a second door delivery. So these are for all of the upstairs bedrooms, plus 2 more, and I can't remember where the other 2 go. Never mind, we'll see when they get fitted. So these were one of the choices that we saw several episodes ago, and we've ended up going for a relatively light finish on these doors. In the home theatre room, well, behind the home theatre room, kind of, we've now got all the tiles in this area where all the electrical connections come in, and where ultimately, I think, it's where we will have all the control equipment for the audio-visual in this room. Probably several years from now. Who knows? I had wondered why they had stopped putting these, I think they're PVC panels on the wall here and on the other side around the stairs. I thought maybe it was just because they were focused more on floors. Well, it's probably partly that, but also they ran out. So, a third delivery. We got more of it here. In Sabrina's room, they are very nearly finished with the flooring. I'm not going to go and walk on it. I did go and walk on it a little while ago, so I'm not going to interrupt them again. But there's one little piece around to the left, and I think there might be one more tiny piece up by the sliding doors. And then it will be done. Which only leaves Alex's room left to be floored. My last statement was fake news. We still have the walk-in closet in the master bedroom to have its flooring applied here. It's 4:30. The bell has gone. The guys are heading out. Before we go inside, two things. Firstly, one of your contributions. And today, we're back again with Bob Twed Philippines 101, who said he went to buy some camouflage trousers the other day. Couldn't find them. And secondly, over on the left, where the dirty kitchen is, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you may notice, and I'll zoom in to help a little bit, the windows are gone. They were not as we had requested. We wanted a different style, different mechanism, basically, in that window on the outside. So they've been removed. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much of a delay to get the revised versions back. And the Windows guys still have a few bits and pieces to do around the house, so they had to come back anyway. Right, let's go and see what has been happening inside. One more thing, sorry, before we do go inside. The guys have been laying out what ultimately is an outside bathroom just here. So they've made a start with this. I'm not sure whether we're going to have to make any amendments to it, but I'll have a conversation shortly just to check something first. But they've only done a little bit. It's almost like the beginning of the build all over again. The crew for the Granite, just a couple of guys today, just doing a little bit of cleanup. They're the last ones to leave today. Well, they were the last ones to arrive as well, so that's fine. But we now have, as far as I can see, all of the backsplash and all of these little bits underneath the countertops. They're all in. Not sure if they're all fully secured yet. They might be, actually. Getting close to a finish in here. In Sabrina's room, the flooring is all finished. Still got the baseboards to do, sideboards, trim. Not sure what the real name is, depends where you are, I guess. Still got that to do in all of the rooms, but the floor itself in here is done. So the last bedroom to get the flooring is Alex's room, which is almost a complete reverse to what I was originally told, but it doesn't matter. So they've just made a very provisional start in here, just started laying out the underlay material. No actual floor panels in just yet. Something that did get finished yesterday was the tiling above the door. So this front wall with the door and the window, that is now all tiled. In the gym, the ceiling fan is out. And I think we've finally found a resting place for this light fixture. Looks good in here. That's going to stay. The three guys painting outside continued along the front. This bit they've done already, but I think it shows the difference probably the most clearly, where upstairs we've got the kind of finished look, although I'm sure there's still more paint to go on, but it's the finished look versus downstairs where it's still kind of messy. It's still the skim coat and waterproofing material that's showing through. So that first layer of paint up there really does make a big difference. So that is the end of build day 312. My word. A good day. Not necessarily any huge new changes, but lots more development of finishing. Granite going into those kitchens makes such a difference. There's still lots and lots to do. All the cabinetry's not even started yet, but it does make a big difference. The painting on the outside makes a difference. The finishing of flooring in the bedrooms makes a massive difference. And now we've got doors that at some point we can start to, well, they'll have to work on first and then start to think about installing doors in the house. Still don't have the big one for the front door, but we've got most of the others now. So let's see tomorrow if anything happens with those doors. See you then.